When I was a child, I saw the God. I saw the angels. I watched the mysteries of the higher and the lower worlds. I thought all the men saw the same. At last, I realized that they did not see. So these are the words of Shams of the Brace. And this is the first page with which we interact when we are about to start reading this book. So hello, good morning, good afternoon, or whatever time zone you are watching now this video. You are welcome to this video of today on my YouTube channel. And the book today we are going to talk about is none other than The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. So you know who Elif Shafak is, you know how she writes, what pattern she follows, and I don't think that I need to explain or elaborate any further about her and her books. So without wasting any time, let's get started with this video. So this book, The 40 Rules of Love. First of all, let's talk about its, appearance. So this book is a paperback edition. It's almost about 350 pages, and yes, the cover itself, it's a very lovely and a very attractive and very amazing in itself. Now, this is the back page, back cover, and if we talk about book, 40 Rules of Love. This book is what I felt reading this book like. It was like it's not just a book basically. First of all, it's a journey in itself. You feel when you are reading this book, you feel like you are traveling with the book, with the with the persons or characters of this book to those very places which are being talked about at those very pages. There are books we read them. We don't feel any attachment or any connectivity with them. It's like you're reading a book. That's it. You read a book. That's it. But this book is completely different. It's a timeline. It's a time. You can say that while reading this book, you don't feel like you're reading. You are completely out of the zone. You don't even remember where you are sitting and what you are doing or what you have to do after reading this book. You feel completely lost, completely, we can say that you are diving into your own world of your thoughts, and it's a journey basically. To cut short, this book is not a book, it's a journey. It's a progressive journey, because the things in it, the things that we read, those are not the things that are meant to be read. Those are the things to be felt and to be interpreted in our lives. So basically this book is about the world most famous poet whom we often see quoted everywhere. That's Maulana Rumi. This book is basically, it's a life story. It shows it contains three protagonists. That's first one we interact with is Ella, and the second one is Shams of Tabriz, and the third utmost important protagonist of this book is Rumi, Maulana Rumi. So this shows that how this is a connectivity of three time zones, three different timelines. First of all, Ella, the character, it is presented a woman of almost a 21st century, around 2018 or something, if I am not wrong. And then it is connectivity between Shams of Tabriz, and then it's a third time zone, which is represents is of Rumi. In between, there are many more characters like the Suleiman the drunken, and there's a lady from sorry, I don't know. Currently, I don't remember. Yeah, Desert Rose. Yeah, it's here, Desert Rose. There are many few characters like Desert Rose, the harlot, and there's one bodyguard also. And this book is divided into 5 parts, if I'm not wrong. The first one is Earth. Second, I'm forgetting now. Third one in front of me is Wind, and it's divided into many parts. The Zealot, another character in the book. There are many more like Shams, Zealot, Ella, Rumi, Aladdin, and Kira, Kimia, many more small characters of small appearance, but that leave a huge impact or a mark on your mindset, and also they will reflect from your personality of while you are reading the book or after you have read the book. And by Burst the Warrior, yes, by Burst the Warriors, and many more like this. Kimia, Sultan Walid. So this is basically a life story of Shams of Tabriz and Rumi, how they met, and what all consequences occurred that led to their meeting, and that led to us their a bond between them that was such an inseparable and unbreakable. So it's basically how it all started and how it all ended. So Shams of Tabriz, one of the top most important figures in our history, because he's considered to be mentor of Rumi. Rumi, we all know, world's top class poet, which has ever been till today. So how they met, how they discussed their 40 rules, which are mentioned as 40 rules of love. Basically, those 40 rules are 40 rules of our life, how we can live and lead a happy and a healthy life, a wise life. That's all it contains. And all those rules are mentioned in the book, and they are amazing. Basically, if we say that those are very basic aspects which we follow and interpret in our life, daily life routine. So this book is, I cannot explain it in words that what this book means to me, but this is completely amazing. I have never read a book like this. So if we talk about the story now, what the story of the book is. So basically the story is like Ella is presented to us that it represents that her lifestyle, what she is going through in her life, and then we see a killer, a character killer is presented to us. He is being hired to kill a person. Who that person is, that's another question that you will come to know when you read the book, and that killer will be the most interesting figure you will think about again and again after complete reading the book. And then we are presented with the Shams of Tabriz, how Sham is sitting and he is wondering about what he has to do next in his life, because he thinks that he one day he saw a dream that someone is looking out for him, and he's looking out for someone, either his guide or his mentor, he's not sure about that, in the city of Baghdad. So he travels, he's a traveler, he's a nomad, and he while staying in an inn, he is told by a senior preacher over there that you have to go to Baghdad. So then from there he interprets that yes, his dream was true and he has a purpose and a motive in life. He was thinking about that he has gained so much wisdom and knowledge from his years of traveling and wandering, and he was thinking that what should be the most appropriate form to transform those rules or the guidelines or anything that he has learned to to all the people around the world, and what should be its medium. So when he sees a dream, then he's made sure that yes, he has to travel to Baghdad now, bare feet, on his feet, and there he will find a person, and he will be his mentor and companion also, and a best friend, or anything you can call, and he will transfer his all knowledge and wisdom to that person, and he shall then further enlighten the world with those very things. So then Shams of Tabriz starts his journey towards the city of Baghdad, and in between there are many characters which are presented to us, and those are those very characters which we have often heard about their stories. Those character stories we have often heard about, but the thing is we didn't know that those very characters are interconnected with these two persons, Shams of Tabriz and Maulana Rumi. So there are many characters, there are many stories that connect. The very best thing in this book is that First of all, we are reading about Ella in 2018 and something. Then Yakdam, in Punjabi it's a word Yakdam, and in English we can call it simultaneously. Simultaneously we are shifted to Shams of Tabriz in that era, and from that we are simultaneously shifted to Rumi. So, and then Rumi, and from to Rumi simultaneously we are shifted to Ella again, and then this timeline intermixes, interconnected, and everything goes and goes. It's very quick, it's very effective, but it's not like you will feel anything very different or rare. Yeah, it's rare, but you will not feel anywhere, lacking behind or anything else like that. So it's a very smooth and very blissful interconnection and switch from one era to another and from one person or a character to another. But it's really amazing and it's really good. You must read this book, I would suggest that. And then the journey presents how Shams of Tabriz enters the city of Baghdad, and in that, how he first met, or how he crosses his ways with Rumi. Before being called or labeled as Rumi, he was someone else, a different, complete personality. He was a preacher of that city. He was considered to be an enlightened person who used to deliver sermon lectures in mosques in that very locality, and people used to follow him as a very a person of very high intellect and high and very great level of knowledge he had, and people used to consider him as you can say anything like a big personality and religion wise. I'm currently not, the name of that thing is not coming to my mind. He was a preacher, you can say that, who used to deliver lectures or sermons in mosque. So when he met Rumi, the thing they did was, first of all, they went to Rumi's house, and for 40 days, collective 40 days, they locked themselves in the library of Rumi. Rumi had a very big library, a very huge library in his home, that was considered to be one of the biggest library in that area, particularly locality. So they locked themselves in that library and they discussed about those 40 rules in those 40 days. And he transmitted, the Shams of Tabriz transmitted his wisdom and knowledge to Rumi. And then he further told him that you now will have a duty to obey, to transmit these very rules or knowledge to the other people around the world. So after they locked themselves in, and after the completion of 40 days, they came out of the library, and between many things occurred, many things took place, like the biggest son of Rumi, he was very disappointed with Shams of Tabriz because he thought that his father was taken away from them. People also around the city, they were in a state of shock, and they were also, rumors were spreading throughout in the air that Rumi is now changed, that dervish that had come to the city, he has taken over Rumi through some black magic or anything else. They were spreading things like this. So when they came out, Rumi was completely a new person. He was before he met Shams of Tabriz, he was a preacher, but he had lacked something that he used to himself think. But after meeting him, after the completion of those 40 days, after they had locked in themselves in library, when they came out, he was a completely different person now. He no more used to attend people like that, but he was in a state of shock, or we can say bliss, like he was trying to interpret things what had happened. So during this, many things, as I already said, that occurred between his family. So Desert Rose also, he after that, the Shams of Tabriz started visiting different places throughout the city. Like he met their Desert Rose, and their we can say the conversation they had, it was again a very, a very different, we can say, because it gave her a new life. So after that, there came a time when Shams of Tabriz had left Rumi. He said that his purpose was finished, and now he shall move forward for a new journey, or for anything we can call. And he saw there was a thing about Sham of Tabriz, that he could see things. He could predict future prophecies, we can basically say. So he came to know that he will be killed someday, and this friendship of Rumi and Tabriz will be a curse for them, or it will be intolerant for people. So he moved from Baghdad to some other place forward, and then Rumi used to stay quiet. He was, very much missing his friend or companion or his tutor, Shams of Tabriz, that he started living all alone, all himself. Then there came a time that he asked his son to go to look for Shams of Tabriz wherever he can find, and then he goes. His son goes to find him, and he finds him and brings him back to Rumi, and then they again start living together happily. So then there comes a twist that I shall not, you know, tell you now. It will be a spoiler else. So let's leave the story part here. So it's upon you now, the person who are eagerly waiting to read this book. They shall read it, and those who have read, they can tell me through comments that how did they feel at this part of the book, and how did they, you know, how did they even, I mean, pass this trauma. I can say that it's not a trauma basically, but as I said, that it's not a book reading uh, session or a therapy while we are reading this book. It's a journey, it's a process, it's a progress. When I say it's a journey, I mean it. When you are reading this book, you don't feel like you are just reading it. You feel like you are traveling with those characters to those very places, wherever they go, wherever they travel, wherever they stay. You feel like you are staying there. One of the best part I felt reading this book was that at no point, literally at no point, I felt, boring or something like that. Whenever, like, see, for example, I am reading this page 109. When I am at the last line of this page, I am damn curious to turn the next page quickly, without even wasting a second, or without even blinking my eyes, and then start reading the next page. And this happens for each and every page when you are reading this book. So I have read it once, but I am looking forward to read it twice, thrice, or as many times as I can read. Basically, I would like to say that this is a book which, we can read after every 6 months, if not 6 months, after every 2 years. In every 2 years, we should read this book. I mean, I'm in that state of in love with this book, and Indian accent, and nothing else I can say about this thing. Elif Shafak. This was the first book of Elif Shafak that I read, and after this, I read her second book also. There are rivers in the sky, and that was the book from which I started making videos on book recommendation and all. So next book of Elif Shafak that I'm looking to read is I have with me is The Bastard of Istanbul. It's placed here. Yeah, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it's here. The Bastard of Istanbul. This is the next book of Elif Shafak which I'm going to read, and this is what we are talking about now. So stay connected, do keep reading books, and I hope that we keep coming together with these things again and again. And this is the only aspect, this is the only best part of the life, that when we read books, book reading is must, and read more and more books and often. So with this we come to the end of the video. I'm just a small kid and as I say in my previous videos also, we should keep trying and trying to live like a child. We should try to live like children because that's the way we can survive in a better way, in a better position, because you can turn to adulthood anytime. But you know and there's a word in Punjabi, uprala. Uprala is to try, to give it a try. To give it a try to live like children is really quite difficult, and it's quite amazing in itself. So with this we come to the end of video. Do like the video, share it, comment how did you like the video, what are your views, what we should change or what we should improve in ourselves. Do subscribe the channel if you are new to the channel. Keep supporting, keep loving, keep sharing. With this we come to the end of the video. Thanks a lot everyone. We talked about this is the best book of the era. I'm in love with this. The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. See you in the next video guys. Thank you.